training sessions in India for various corporate companies and abroad also. So I have got a very rich experience on cloud technologies for the last 5 to 6 years. I've been working on cloud technologies on various modules, almost all the modules of HCM. Okay, so that's my introduction. So with my rich experience, definitely I'll be able to help you guys to acquire a very good knowledge and then take your career forward. Okay, so let's start with our demo today. So in fact, we are from Tech Leads. So this is our agenda to discuss various topics on cloud HCM solutions. I think someone is on mute. Honor 8, can you please mute yourself, please? So we should be calling with the mobile phone names, okay? Okay, so let's proceed. I think there's a lot of disturbance. Can you, all of you guys, mute yourself, please? Okay. All right. So we're going to discuss about the innovation for Fusion and on-premises versus cloud solutions. We have a different ways of implementing the cloud solutions. So we have different categories or different offerings by Oracle and Fusion environment releases. So where it started and how far it reached now. So and what is the latest release, and SaaS cloud offerings, various offerings within the SaaS application. So related to the HCM, related to the financials and SCM. So we're going to discuss about that. And the overview of the cloud HCM applications. And what are all the different modules that we're going to cover in our course, and benefits in adopting Fusion ERP cloud solutions by various customers. So in compared to the previous EBS applications. So what are all the different benefits that the clients or customers are going to receive so that they can adopt the cloud application, and why you guys should attend Tech Lead classes. Why not others? So let's get into that. All right, so foundation for Fusion. So how the cloud or Fusion applications, what we're calling now. So what is the reason behind coming out with this particular innovation? Why can't we use the legacy applications? So I'm calling the legacy applications because we used to use them and now we came forward to use a cloud applications. So Oracle acquired various applications from various companies. The examples are like PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Sibyl CRM, Hyperion, and then Oracle owns the e-business suite. And then later on they acquired other technologies also like Java and all those things. So they acquired, and they could see for some of the business processes, one particular application is very good, and that is the best in the market. For example, if you talk about PeopleSoft, so there are some modules where the PeopleSoft is best, like the HR solutions, something, and JD Edwards, like procurement and financials. Sibyl CRM, the CRM is the best product on, in the market in Sibyl. And for reporting, the Hyperion. And EBS suite, when you talk about the EBS suite, we have the Payroll and other financial modules are the best in the market. So since Oracle acquired all these different companies, they thought of taking the best products from each of these applications and then merge them and came out with one particular solution that is called Fusion applications, the cloud Fusion applications. So that's how the new product has taken the birth, having the best features of each and every business process So that means that we can see the cloud application, whatever the business process that you talk about, we can see the best business process in the market today. Okay, so we're discussing about various deployment solutions that are offered by Oracle.
Hari, sorry to interrupt you. In the previous slide, you mean to say Oracle has acquired PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, and all these companies?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have heard about some Workday also, like PeopleSoft also starting Workday. Is this some new version from their side or what?
Correct. I mean, they sold the PeopleSoft to Oracle, and again, since that is a company and how to grow, they know the various strategies to be followed. So they started a Workday kind of thing. But when we talk about the market, the Oracle market is a big. Okay, so they have competed with various companies and standing as #1 in the market.
Okay.
So Oracle CEO has got a lot of vision, and definitely they're going to move still forward. Okay, I mean, they are offering a kind of free upgrades to the cloud system if they are using old applications or something like that. So various offerings are being made by Oracle that attracts the customers and get into that. So as an implementation consultant, once the market is all spread with Oracle applications, so we will have a better future, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So when you talk about the deployment solutions, Oracle is offering a custom solutions to various customers based on their requirements. So basically, at a very high level, we have got on-premises versus cloud. So on-premises means it's within the customer premises. For example, we have the EBS applications right now. So the EBS applications, the servers are located in client's location. They have got their infrastructure team like the DBAs. So they have full access to that particular database. They install the things and we maintain the system. And if any patches are shutting down the system for any preventive maintenance or anything. So we take care of the full control we have on-premises model. So similarly, for the customers who are not really interested in moving to the cloud application, if they want to have their own servers, whether these servers are set up in Oracle, Oracle location, or if they want to set up the same infrastructure within the client's location, so that is possible. But when you take the decision to keep it within on premises, so that means there is no difference between the EBS applications maintenance cost and the cloud application maintenance cost, because the major advantage, the biggest advantage of moving to cloud is a cost efficiency. So to reduce a lot of costs for the company. So except the cloud application features that may be they may be using the new business processes or the new look and feel pages or the new business, different integrations that we have, except that they're going to spend a lot of money within the on-premises. So coming to within the on-premises, as I said, the client can ask Oracle to have install their servers within their premises, or it's a kind of having the infrastructure in Oracle's office and maintaining the database by Oracle or something like that. So that's called on-premises. So now let's move into the cloud. So we have various, again, deployment solutions. Got some message. So if you guys have any questions, yeah, you can stop. Okay, all right. Okay, so moving to the cloud deployments. So what the client can ask, okay, so I will not own or I will not take the responsibility of owning the infrastructure, that is servers, or maintenance, the database maintenance, or whatever the database administrator activities. So completely Oracle is going to take care of that. And the client is going to use the application. That's it. So if they have any questions or if they have any issues, errors or anything, so they have to get back to the Oracle for resolving those issues. So anyhow, we have Metalink support for EBIS, so that keeps continuing to take to raise any SR service request and take the help of Oracle. So coming to the cloud again, the client can ask based on the privacy of their data. I mean, when you talk about the privacy of the data, there is no question of losing the privacy of data. Nobody is going to access a particular client's data by another client or something like that, because there is a hard partition, what we call. So the Oracle is going to maintain separate servers for each client, and one client will not have the access to the other client data. So that's well protected. But even then, there may be some reasons where the clients can look at private cloud because of the various maintenance activities by Oracle. Because if you go for a public cloud is something like what we use a Gmail account now. So Gmail, if Google wants to take down the Gmail servers for any maintenance activity, so all of the users are going to lose the access for a particular certain, a period of time. So now coming to the private cloud, a client can ask Oracle to have a separate servers located in their premises. I mean, not in Oracle premises, and have their own instance set up for them. And whenever they want to take it down for maintenance activities or something like that, so they have a kind of liberty. They can take their own decisions. But again, when compared to the public cloud, the cost would be more. So depending on the cost, the client has to take the decision on that. All right. So any questions on this? All right. So we'll move forward. So we got various cloud versions. So started from 11.1.1.5.1, and then slowly they started stabilizing the system and came out with a lot of new features. I have not put all the versions here since there is a space constraint here. So the latest version is now R13 and 18C. So Oracle is going to come out with more number of versions similar to that what we faced for EBIS applications. So they fixed the bugs in the previous versions, and they come out with a lot of new features. It can be more convenient for the users, user-friendly screens or something like that. So we know that. So right now, the latest version is R13 and update is 18C, so which is having a very good features. Now let's talk about various offerings in cloud by Oracle. So we have various modules, and we have various other cross modules. So when you talk about the financial management, we do have various modules like general ledger, accounts payable, assets management, payments and collection, accounts receivable, cash and expense management. And of course, the Kpis and dashboards are the common functionalities across various modules. So we use OTBI to build various dashboards, reports, and all. So that particular functionality is available for all of modules. And coming to the human capital management, so the offerings are at a very high level. We have 3 different types of offerings: workforce deployment, workforce development, and the compensation management. So this is a kind of grouping or categorizing various modules into one particular offering for pricing and price negotiations purpose, which we are not worried about it. Okay, let us see various modules. So we got human resources and global payroll or any localized payroll. So we are going to cover the global payroll, not the payroll specific to a particular localization, because we do have localization for various countries like US, UK, Italy, France, India, and all those countries. So we'll not be able to take one particular country because the students comes across various countries. So we go with the global payroll. And we have workforce management or workforce service delivery. So related to the employee administration. So what are all the different things that are required for the employee, like creating locations, creating organizations, jobs, and then various other configurations that we do to create an employee. And we do have the workforce management, where various business processes that we can perform for an employee record, like hiring an employee, or before hire date. We can actually create in a draft mode, like the concept called a pending worker, and then we later on we convert the pending worker into an employee the day the employee is onboarding, and thereafter joining. So we do have other business processes. The employee can be transferred, the employee can be terminated, the employee can be rehired, or the employee can be promoted, something like that. So we do have our merit increases. So all those business processes are clubbed in workforce management. That's what we call. And we have the compensation, the total compensation or compensation management, which comes with the compensation workbench in EBS applications, where the salary or merit increase process is fully automated. And we do also have the benefits management, where we have the total comp statement. And I mean, we call it as advanced benefits in EBS applications. So that's what we call benefits in cloud application. And we got talent management. So the talent management consists of the goals management and the talent review and the performance. That's where we define the goals for employees based on the organizational goals. So we can define various goals, the employee performance related goals, which further we can classify as organizational goals or departmental goals or an employee individual goals. And all those goals can be reviewed at the end of the performance period in the performance management. And also we have a very good functionality in the talent management, which is called as a talent review. We didn't have this in EBS applications. We had, but with a limited features, where the employee competencies are defined for selecting in the recruitment process. And after, I was talking about the applicant, and after hiring the applicant as an employee, so the same competencies can be reviewed over a period of time, from time to time. And even the competencies can be reviewed during the performance process. So the competencies are nothing but various skills of the employee. So skills can be reviewed and measured in terms of a particular rating scale, where the particular employee is standing in a particular skill. So further, that helps the employee to improve once the manager gives a certain rating. So let us say, for example, one of the employee has got a Fusion Payroll knowledge and standing at a rating scale of 2 on a rating scale of 1 to 3. So once the manager gives the feedback, the employee can still further explore that particular thing and acquire knowledge and try to move to the 3 rating. And we have a very good functionality, the best functionality in assessing the employees. The whole population of any organization is called a talent management 9 chart box model. Okay, matrix chart, what we call 9 box matrix chart, where the employee can be assessed in terms of 9 parameters. We have 9 boxes. The overall population of any organization can be plotted into various boxes. That's where we can, the management can immediately see which employee falls into which box based on the employee skill, based on the employee performance. So that can be measured in terms of the, the potentiality of the employee versus the performance of the employee. So who has got more potential, and who is more performing. So versus of these 2 parameters, or we can choose whatever the parameters that we can measure. So anyhow, we're going to get into that and discuss in detail in the talent management classes. So that's a 9 box matrix chart that we have in talent management. And we do have the Kpis and dashboards. So we got some of the dashboards are seeded, so we can see them. The managers has got some dashboards, or employee has got some dashboards, or the HR business users has got some of the dashboards. When I say HR, it's inclusive of the payroll users, the time management users, and all business users. And we can even develop more dashboards by using the OTBI, Oracle Transactional BI, that we have the access. So we can develop. And we can also develop any kind of reports and publish them in various formats like .csv format, or PDF formats, or XLX spreadsheet format. And then we can transmit the file to any other server location, whether it can be internal or external. So we do have a data extracts and all those. All right. So coming to the supply chain management, we have the product management, asset management, global order. So I'm not going to read all of them. Okay. So we have got supply chain management modules, projects, Oracle projects. We got project and portfolio management, where the projects are maintained. And we have got procurement and customer relationship management, CRM modules. And coming to the governance and risk compliance, so we have got a security compliance, where I mean, for all of these modules, there would be one module we call a security control, where the users are defined and access controls are defined, and various roles can be defined for each user, which roles can be accessed by the user and which role cannot be accessed by the user. So we have, you know, we can also set up privileges, read, write, and kind of privileges, view only kind of roles for any of the users. So we have all of that. All right. So coming to the
one question in the previous slide, please.
Please go ahead.
If I'm new to Oracle Fusion, then which is the very first module where I can start into?
HCM is the foundation for any of the modules.
Okay.
So we have to, because even if you take other modules like, I mean, you are asking about whether to learn HCM or financial or SCM, something like that you're asking, or within the HCM, which one first you'd like to learn?
Yeah, which one first? Which one is the first we're supposed to learn actually?
Okay, that's the HR, the global HR,
okay.
Because that's where everything starts. If you try to move to other modules like talent management or anything, the data which comes from the HCM only, the global HR only. So we have got employees, their locations, their jobs, their grades. Everything is set up at HR level, global HR level.
Okay.
So that is the first and foremost module anyone can learn.
And same for company also. If any company is implementing Fusion, then the HCM is the first one he's going to implement, the company.
It is not mandatory, but it is recommended.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a option to implement any of these modules. So having the coexistence model, that's what we call as a coexistence model.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are from eBiz, so you might be aware the HR foundation or foundation HR or shared HR concept.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if one of the client is interested to implement only the talent management module, but not HR, okay, so they're going to buy the license only for the talent management module.
Okay.
And they can use the coexistence model. That means not all the features of HR is available for them. To implement and to complete various business process within that particular talent management module, what are all the different things that are required for them? So they will have those features available.
Okay.
So for example, if you want to implement talent management, you need an employee, you need an employee location, organization, grade, or something like that. So these kind of things are available, okay, as a shared feature. All right. So
purchasing the license. Okay, fine.
Yeah, right. Depending on the license. Yeah. So coming to the cloud human capital management modules in detail. So as I said, we have the global HR, and coming to the payroll. So we have got various countries that are localized. So when you talk about the localization, so what do you mean by the localization is taking care of the a local, a legislative or government specific requirements and delivering them within the cloud payroll application. So that is what we call the localization. For example, if you take India, we have got government specific requirements, or what we call legislative specific requirements, a provident fund, income tax, gratuity, and professional tax. So our ESI, employee state insurance. So all these are called legislative specific requirements for each and every organization, where that particular organization is meeting the particular criteria of headcount by the organization. So if they are complied, if they want to comply, if they are falling into that particular category where they should comply with all these specific requirements, so they should have the features within the Oracle. So Oracle has considered some of the countries where they should do the localization. Of course, any organization who looks at benefit in delivering the localized specific requirements in various countries is depending on their business in that particular country. For example, if you take US, UK, France, Italy, and all these UAE and India, all these countries, they do a lot of business. Oracle do a lot of business. So they have so many customers. So if they have so many customers, they should take care of the customers and provide the local legislative requirements also as a seeded feature without going for any customizations. So that implementation will be very much easy and maintenance will be very much easy. So that is what we call the localization. So for US, you may have 401k or calculating the federal tax or state tax, county tax, or even these, some of the states has got student tax or something like that. So they take care of that. Within the product itself, they deliver it and give it as a seeded feature. So that is what we call a localization. So for any of the countries who has got the localization, so the implementation method will be a little different. Anyhow, when we move to the payroll classes, we will discuss in detail. If you don't have the localization, for example, if you take Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka doesn't have the localization because Oracle is not doing that much business there in Sri Lanka. Going forward, they may come out with that particular localization also. We don't know that. All right, that is what we call the localization. So we're going to discuss about the global payroll, and I'll try to highlight how to do the localization also for a non-localized country. We'll discuss that in the payroll. And we do have the global payroll interface functionality. That means the client is not going for the payroll implementation. They have not bought the license for payroll full implementation. They may have some third-party legacy payroll where they need to have the integration of the payroll data into cloud and the HR data into payroll legacy payroll system. So that's where we have a standard functionality or seeded functionality called the global payroll interface. And we have got the workforce predictions functionality. Workforce predictions are something like that. It's a very good management tool based on the employee performance, our employee salary increase, our employee acquiring these skills. We have got a certain set of parameters where the system analyze those parameters and give a prediction. The predictions are nothing but the predictions are like, this employee can put down his paper, more chances to resign, or this employee more chances he can move to other department or something like that. Those kind of predictions we have as a seeded feature. Example, if you take for the last 3-4 years, if one of the employees getting a rating, a very low rating and not or less salary increment, merit increase, so the system can predict. So there are more chances for this particular employee to resign and go out. So that's a kind of prediction, because if you have got so many employees in your organization, it's very difficult to predict one employee by one employee offline without the help of the system. So if you have that feature built in your application, so it's very easy. By department, you can pull how many employees are predicted to leave or anything. So that's a very good feature we have. We're going to cover that. And we have the workforce management, as I said, what are all the different things that are required for maintaining an employee or creating an employee, creating locations, grades, jobs, organizations, and other things where we maintain various types of people in cloud application. It can be an employee, it can be a contingent worker, or any other employee types. So those kind of things we can manage in the workforce management. And coming to the time and labor, so where it starts from the time entry, and the time and labor or the time management module is fully integrated with the payroll. So whatever the employee initiates the time entry, and that can be flown to a manager for approval. And once it is approved, it can be transferred to the payroll for further payroll processing or automatic calculation of the salary. And employee can view their leave balances, absence balances by using the time and labor self-service. So we have got various features. So it all again depends on what the client has taken the license. If they want to use the self-service time entry, it's a kind of decentralizing the time entry process. Or you have a different time machine where each and every employee swipes the data and get that data into time and labor module or something like that. So we're going to more discuss there. And we got the absence management. So where various types of absences or leaves, what we call, can be defined, and rules can be defined in the system. And the calculation rules, how to calculate based on the eligibility criteria of a particular employee, can be defined in the absence management. And employees can apply for an absence from employee self-service, and manager also will have the access for creating an absence from the on behalf of the employee. Our manager can approve the absence depending on the business requirement. And employees can also view their absence balances from time to time. So once the payroll is done, or without the payroll also, we can implement the absence management. And whatever the number of absence days that the employee is applying, that can be calculated. And if it is a paid leave or unpaid leave or something like that, depending on that, we can further process in the payroll. If it is an unpaid leave, we can deduct that amount from the payroll. If it is a paid, we can consider that as a paid day and process the payroll. And coming to the talent review, I think we have already discussed about the talent review in our previous slide. And performance management, so various goals can be defined in the goal management. And we can also define individual employee developmental goals. So in prior versions, we were not having the option to include employee development goals in the as part of the performance management. Now with the latest versions, whatever the goals that we define as an individual employee goals, for example, I may be having a goal of learning time and labor module within next 2 months. That's an individual development. It can be a skill development, or it can be my personality development. I may be lacking a communication skills, and I have the goal assigned by my manager saying that improve communication skills or customer facing skills, something like that. So those skills or those goals also now can be part of the performance management. So the manager can assess how the employee has achieved this particular goal during the performance period, and they can give the rating in the performance management. So whatever the ratings, so in the performance management, we have got employee, depending on again the customer requirement. If they want to take the employee self-service evaluation also into consideration, so they can go ahead with the seeded functionality. It starts with the employee self-service evaluation, self-evaluation, and then it goes to the manager for further manager evaluating that. And various kind of business flows are there. Again, it goes back whenever the manager has given final rating, it can be further rerouted to the HR also for their review and giving the feedback from HR side on the particular employee. And once the ratings and feedbacks are finalized, that can be sent back to the employee for going through the feedback that the manager has given. And again, employee can submit it to close the performance cycle. And the finalized performance ratings are going to be an input for the compensation management. So based on the performance, because in the performance management, we are not going to touch any merit increase values or anything. We are not going to touch the salary digits. So the entire salary, increasing the salary and all will be happening in compensation management, or by a HR business user directly, they can go to the employee record and create the salary manually. So the performance ratings are going to be the input for the compensation management. And based on the ratings, anyhow, we're going to discuss about these things in compensation module. So let me cover. Based on the ratings given to employees, the manager will be allocated a particular budget. So the entire compensation, within the compensation management, the compensation workbench functionality is going to be about budget allocation for the salary increase and how the budget is allocated to a particular manager. What is the overall budget of the company for salary increases? And further, it will be again reallocated to the downline managers, and managers are going to again further allocate some of the budget each teams, and each team lead or team manager is going to further allocate as a merit increase or salary increase for each individual employee. So that's how it's called top down method for allocating the salaries. And once the level, whatever the level, let me take it as a level 1 bottom up. So if the level 1 manager allocates certain amount as a salary increase, further it can be submitted to the manager for approval, and the approvals goes bottom up. It depends on the company requirement. So once all the approvals are done, that means that process is complete and the new salaries are going to be effective from a particular specific date, and you can run the payroll process. And then the next one is incentive compensation. Of course, I think it's not part of our syllabus. So incentive compensation is something like that, where salespeople or any other employees who are offered certain kind of incentives. So we can configure various types of incentives, their eligibility criteria and all. So again, after earning the incentives, that can be part of payroll. And coming to the benefits, so I think all of you must be aware of various benefits that the companies are going to be offering, various medical related or sick related or health related or anything. You have insurance plans where you deduct certain premium amount from the employee and then remit to the service provider, whoever is providing the service, and offering benefits. So those are all configured in the benefits modules and from time to time maintained. And we do have the self-service benefits functionality also, where an employee can enroll additional family members or remove any family members into that particular benefit plan. So as we increase the family members, the premium is going to be added additionally. So that will be deducted again in the payroll process from the employee's salary. So all this will happen in the benefits module. And we have the total compensation statement. So this is one individual functionality where the employee's entire compensation will be published in the form of a statement where the statement shows whatever the amounts that are earned and deducted finally arrived, over a period of time. So that we will talk about in total comp statement. And to maintain all these, we do have other functionalities called fast formulas that helps in payroll calculations and the profile management as part of the talent management, that is employee profile management, and workforce directory management. So we have a list of employees where the employees' personal data can be shared with others. Very few where the data is not privacy, the employee name, employee department, organization, or the employee contact information. So those kind of things are in workforce directory management. Okay, any questions in the previous slide?
Hari, could you please tell me again which topics are we going to cover? Maybe I missed something.
I think we're going to cover the HR. Sorry, your voice is breaking up. You are able to hear me, right?
Are we
Yes.
going to cover any plan?
I think who's talking? Is this Hannah? Your voice is completely breaking up. Can you send your question over the chat? Your voice is completely breaking up. All right. So any other questions meantime? So we're going to cover the HR, payroll, and absence management, and goals, performance, and talent management, and compensation management, and time and labor. So I think that's the scope of our course.
And fast formulas and profile management?
Yes, we'll cover them.
Okay.
Also, we have the technical things that we'll cover. I think we have got a very one more slide, so we'll discuss about that. All right, so let's go on.
Are you going to cover security?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And coming to the next slide, we have the implementation options with the coexisting model. So I think we already discussed about that, where a particular customer interested to implement only the time and labor, or only the payroll, or only the benefits, or only the talent management. So how each module, how the HR, the main global HR is shared. So you can see here on this particular slide, when you talk about the time and labor module. So we have got the people information is required for time and labor, jobs information, organization information, and when you talk about the benefits, you have you need again people, jobs, organization, and compensation information for the benefits and payroll. So what are all the different things that you're going to share for each module if you are implementing only one module as a standalone? What kind of information that you're going to share it from HR? So that's what the coexistence model is. So any client can take any module license. Okay, so yep, these are the modules we are going to cover in our syllabus. The core HR or global HR, absence management, time and labor or time management, payroll, CWB, that is the compensation workbench in compensation. And we're going to cover the talent management. In the talent management, we got profile management, goals management, performance management, and talent review, and then security. And I think in addition to these, the technical topics which we are going to cover is the HDL, what we call it is HCM Data Loader. So this is very much useful when you're doing the implementation for the first time for the data conversions. So you extract the data from your existing legacy systems or any other ERP system, and then load the data into a cloud application. So this is, that means the more technical activities involved in extracting the data, and then loading the data is very simple. So with the available functionality as a seeded feature. Okay, OTL is Oracle Time and Labor. Also we call it as a time management. And I think we have got one more question from Harish. Are we going to cover career development under talent management? Yes. So we are going to cover that. Okay, so we got SDL, which is a spreadsheet data loaders. So this is a kind of functionality. If you guys are from, all right, no problem. So this is a kind of functionality if you guys are from EB's background. So we have a web ADI integrators. So the similar kind of functionality with advanced features, we have got a spreadsheet data loaders. So some of the spreadsheet data loaders are available during the implementation. So where we can load some data, and some of the spreadsheet data loaders are also available after the implementation, after the go live. So where if we have a huge number of data objects that you have to upload into the system. For example, there are 100 locations to be created or 100 jobs to be created. So it's a very time consuming activity for a business user to create manually one by one. So rather you use a spreadsheet data loader. Spreadsheet data loader is something kind of Excel sheet or spreadsheet, a kind of thing where you put the data and then, with a single command, you just upload it. So within seconds, the data will be uploaded to a cloud application. So that's what we're going to discuss about it. And approvals management. So we do have a lot of transactions in cloud. So compared to the EBS applications, we have so many business process that can be routed through an approval process. So in EBS, if you guys are from EBS background, in EBS we have certain business processes related to the employee self-service or manager self-service can only be routed through approvals within the HCM. So now in cloud application, if you want to control the transactions or the data objects creation, for example, if someone wants to create a new job or someone wants to create a new location, so your customer requirement is they are not going to allow the HR business users who are doing the data entry or creating the locations or jobs as they want. So if you want to have a controlled environment, if an employee or the HR business user creates a location that has to be routed through a HR manager approval, and if HR manager approves the transaction, then only the location is created in the system. You have so many business transactions like that for any data objects, or if you want to promote an employee, transfer an employee, terminate an employee. So for each and every business transaction, you can route through approvals. So that's a very good feature in a cloud application. And we're going to talk about the personalizations. So the look and feel of the pages and hiding some of the fields on a particular page. So those things can be done through the personalizations. So we're going to talk about that. And we do have, the transactional BI reports, OTBI, what we call Oracle Transactions BI reports. This is again, it comes with the cloud applications as a standard feature. So by using these OTBI functionality, we can write some queries and we can build some reports, because we don't have access of, SQL loader or, SQL Plus or Toad. These kind of tools we cannot use with the cloud application. So the only way is to query and check, for any issue, or if you want to see if a particular employee data exists as an IT guy, because we will not, as an IT guy, we will not have access to employee record. But if you are debugging a issue, whether that particular information has been populated to that particular employee or not, so we have to write some queries to check that particular data exists or not. So those queries we can write by using the OTBI functionality. And we can write some code for building the reports. And those reports can be published in various formats, as I told, in .csv files or PDF formats, or you can also generate the file in an XML output and then transmit to the other servers. So we're going to discuss about that. All right, so this is the look and feel of the instance. So we do have various, okay, let me check this question.
Yeah, I do have a question, yes.
What about fast formulas, HCM extracts, workflows, data conversion? Yeah, data conversion is nothing but the HDL.
Okay.
The HCM Data Loaders, that's what we call data conversion. And PBL we are not going to cover, because that is PBL or FBL. What do you mean by that?
The payroll batch loader.
Oh, okay. That will be part of the spreadsheet loader. Yes, we're going to cover it. Okay. And fast formulas, yes, we'll talk about that. And HCM extracts, I think it's not a part of our syllabus. Let me check with Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And workflows, yeah, workflows, we can talk about it. No problem. If time permits, yes, we can.
Okay.
I think is there. Okay. All right. And does this course helps to build a fast formula from the scratch to development? I'm not sure about it, what kind of skill level that we have, because I'm going to write not a very big fast formula, a very complex fast formula. So I'm going to talk about what are all the different things that you can use in the fast formula and write as, show you guys how to write a formula and all, and what all the different things are the database objects are, the database items are global values are functions that how we can we use within the formulas and all. So the code writing skills, I may not be helping you guys in that. Okay. All right. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So this is the look and feel of a particular page, the configuration page, where by accessing various configurational tasks, we can access and do the configuration. Okay. So the screenshots, some of the screenshots which we see here, the look and feel may be changing depending on the versions right now that we have an instance. Anyhow, we're going to get into the instance and then see in our later sessions. Okay, so if you observe, there is a workforce deployment and workforce development. If you can see here, as I talked about, the entire HCM solution is offered in three offerings. One is the workforce deployment. So global HR, payroll, time management, all these modules are part of the workforce deployment. And we have got one more workforce development. So this is for the employee development or workforce development. The goals, performance, and talent management and talent review, all these things are part of the workforce development. And we have got one more also. I didn't put the screenshot here. So that is the compensation management. So the total comp statement, compensation workbench, benefits, and all those are part of the compensation management. All right. So this is.
Hari, I have you one doubt. What is the difference between the workforce deployment and workforce development?
Okay, workforce deployment is all about maintaining the employee and maintaining their time and all. It is actually not to check for any differences between these two. Nobody's going to ask you in any interview questions or anything like that. That is how the Oracle guys fix the price for license. Okay, so they actually categorized, they grouped into three different groups for licensing purpose. One is the workforce deployment, other one is the workforce development, and other one is the compensation management to fix the licensing fee. So as part of the workforce deployment, they deliver a global HR and payroll, absence management, time management, and even the learning management modules. So all those modules are clubbed into workforce deployment. And workforce development is all about developing the employee related things, the skills development or assessing them or talent, reviewing them in a talent review. So where you can define the goals, assess them into performance management. And we have a separate functionality called talent review, where you review the employee talent profile. So all those things and the profile management at the employee level. So are part of the workforce development. And related to the compensation, whatever different things that you talk about, different business processes you talk about related to the employee compensation. It can be benefits, it can be merit increase, or it can be a total comp statement or anything, or it can be like an incentive compensation or something like that, are part of the compensation management, right? Is it clear?
Yes, Hari.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so how Fusion Cloud benefited to the customers? So the major benefits, what we discussed in our previous slides are the cost effectiveness, because the cloud, you don't need to maintain the system by the data administrators, so we'll not have the access. So Oracle DBAs are going to be maintaining the system. It's a kind of, having someone has made a ready-made product and then leasing it to the customers. So you just need to pay only the lease depending on which module you are going to use. But if you talk about the on-premises or EBS, current EBS applications, so you have to recruit database administrators to apply patches from time to time and bring down the system, or if there are any errors, they keep monitoring. So for all these, it's an additional cost effort from the client side. So that's one measure. And we have an attractive user interface, and it can be used through mobile devices. And even if you implement the the single sign-on system, you can actually protect your login data. Nobody can hack anything. Whatever the mobile, Android mobile or iPhone mobile, whatever you have in your hand, it can be your sign-on can be authenticated from the mobile device itself. If it is not authenticated, you will not be able to log in. So those kind of features also can be implemented with a single sign-on. So those are all the different features. It can be accessible for any, from any device. You can access it from mobile, laptop, or anywhere. And it is a global access application because it's an internet-based application. You don't need to connect to your company VPN or anything. It's just like as you access a Gmail account from anywhere, as simple as that. And easy adaptability with less user trainings. This is just because, in EBS application, if you want to enter various types of information for an employee, so you keep navigating through various forms, you keep clicking on various tabs that will open another form, and then you keep filling the information. So the navigation process is very, tedious. So coming to the cloud application, it's a single page, step by step. If you fill the information and then press the next tab, that will take you to another page, and next tab that will take you to another page. It's very easy to create an employee record or maintain the employee record. Reporting capabilities are table stake for every HR solutions. So decision with the dashboards and live analytics. So if you build proper dashboards with the analytical information, so on a single page, you can see what is the retention, what is the employee resignation percentage by department, by location, or by company, by legal entity, or something like that. It's very easy to give accurate information using the analytics and building the dashboards. Easy to start and quick run with the reduced implementation time. The implementation time is compared to the EBS applications, it would definitely it's going to be reducing, because by the time you kick off your project, your instance is ready. Whereas in our EBS related application implementations, the project plan consists of, when you say kickoff, that's where you start your DBA work to install the, set up the server and install the application and all those things. So your project plan will consist of those activities also. Here, we don't need those activities as part of our project plan. Once you kick off, directly you start with your requirement collection or requirement gathering activities with the business users. So that's going to reduce the time. And also, since the access to each and every page and configurational task is very much easy, so that's going to further reduce your implementation time. That's what mentioned as a start and quick run with reduced implementation time. And reduce implementation time and cost. So once the time saves, we can always save the cost for the implementation. Easy integration with Oracle and non-Oracle products. So we have got SOVA. So we'll have to check how far the SOVA is successful. If you implement it properly, yes, it is successful. So it depends on how you implement the SOVA objects. So with the help of the SOVA, you can easily have an integration with other Oracle products and even with the coexistence modules. So you can have the interfaces developed, you can have the data extracts defined and extract the data and transmit the file to other servers. And if it is a Oracle product, you may be having some standard features also. For example, Oracle owns Talio. So I have not put the Talio here in our previous slide. Oracle acquired the Talio also. For onboarding, recruitment and onboarding process, the Talio is the best product in the market now. So the entire recruitment and onboarding process can be done in Talio, and you can easily, with a standard interface, you can easily bring that converted applicant into employee directly to the cloud, HR application. So we have, we can easily integrate with the Oracle and non-Oracle products. And data migration becomes simple with FB, BI. So that's a file-based data loaders or something like that, which discontinued. All right, so these are all the different trusted customers for Fusion now. So, I mean, that means they already, moved into cloud applications. All right, so why tech leads IT? Who we are? So I introduced myself. So I used to work as a freelancer for Oracle University also. So I'm the Oracle University instructor too. So now having the association with tech leads and trained by industry real-time experts. So as I said, I have got 23 years of industrial experience, and tech leads has got over a decade of experience in Oracle training services in EBS and cloud. And of course, you might have got interaction with Krishna or someone in their office to have a single registration, right? So all of them are like always trained on latest releases. So right now we're going to go ahead with the 13 and 18C, which is the latest. And the particular instance is upgraded to the next version by Oracle. So yes, we get into the next versions of the training sessions. Access to the training videos from tech leads IT on the website. So we have got all the training videos uploaded to the website, and access is given to all of you guys who are registered. Okay, so we got the training material, and we also have a forum to share. If you can post any questions, or you guys can interact with each other. If you have, it's a kind of brainstorming. So that helps you to further improve your skill. And supportive help desk team. So whenever you reach, tech leads, so people are going to be there to help you. If any questions are there, that can be routed to me. So you can reach tech leads team, and they can reach to me for further getting the clarifications or any questions you have, answers for your questions. All right. So we have various tools: Skype, WhatsApp, and live chat for supporting you guys.
Sorry, what the third point mean?
Single registration has window to access multiple batches. I think if you attend one session, so further I think you can discuss with the team. So if you want to again further participate in next sessions also, so that's what it means. So you can further have the clarification with the team. Right.
Maybe if I miss some session, then maybe on some another month, if some session is going on, I can attend that one.
Right. You're right.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Okay. Is there any particular window for that one also, like 6 months or 1 year?
1 year.
1 year. Okay.
Yeah. So these are the different other courses offered by Tech Lead. So we have the EBS trainings, Oracle EBS supply chain management and manufacturing modules, financials and technical training programs. And coming to the cloud, we have Cloud HCM, Fusion, Cloud Financials, and supply chain management and customer relationship management modules. All these are offered by the Tech Leads. So any questions?
So Hari, which one is more demanding, HCM technical, HCM functional, or HCM techno-functional?
You're asking about only the HCM, right?
Yeah, only HCM.
Techno-functional is the best one, because that creates a lot of demand for you. Because if a particular employer hires you, if there is a requirement functionally, they can use you as a functional resource. Or if you are a technical, they can use as a technical, or wherever it is required, techno-functional, right? So you are creating more demand for you.
Okay.
Vivek, actually that is common. Like if you are a financial consultant or if you are a supply chain management consultant also, if you are having 2 lines of stream skill set, that would be added to the company.
Right.
Yeah. So not only on the HCM side, if you take any platform, if you are both functional and technical, so that it would be good for the company and your profile also.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, so any more questions on cloud or module specific?
Team, the batch is from 1st July onwards, Monday, morning 8 to 9. Morning
8 to 9?
8 to 9. And if you're comfortable with the faculty explanation and training and the services that we are providing, you can continue with the registrations. We don't compel you.
So I was looking for 7 to 8.
Right now, the slot is available 8 to 9 only.
Okay. It's not feasible.
Any technical questions? Content related, course related, any questions?
I'm surprised no one has questions.
So Hari, this is Raghu here.
Yeah.
So technical knowledge wise, right now I'm working in PeopleSoft as a functional consultant.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at that, my technical skill set is very, very low. I can write SQLs and all that stuff, but when it comes to big programs and stuff, I cannot do. So
Okay.
considering that, if I want to be a techno-functional consultant in Oracle Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
how technical knowledge would I be needing? Meaning, are we going to write extensive programs like in PeopleSoft or, any other technologies, or is it going to be very, very minimum?
Yeah. Okay. So when you want to develop any report, write a report, yes, definitely you need advanced skills in PLSQL programming. When you talk about other technical things like configuring the approvals management or the data extracts or writing a fast formula, for these things are spreadsheet loaders. So these things you may not really need advanced skills in PLSQL. But for writing any OTBI reports, for data, any other data extractions or building, further converting into various formats, yes, you need advanced skills.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And on the same note, I am from the benefits background. I think all the integrations are already in place, right, with multiple vendors?
Not really. So we have to check by each vendor. We don't have any standard interfaces.
Oh, we don't. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
No. Yeah. Who's that? Okay. So if no questions, yeah, we'll wrap up the demo session for today. And then you guys can be in touch with Krishna. And then we'll further meet. All right. Take care, guys. You guys have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Same meeting ID. Same meeting ID. Okay.
Okay.
On Monday, morning 8 o'clock. Same meeting ID.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.